Oh, look guys, it's so amazing. Nature's so great. You know what? I really must finish that gate. I have slightly less patience than I might otherwise have had. And breathe. Good morning, Friday morning. As you know, this channel isn't one of those, oh look guys, it's so amazing, nature's so great, oh our life is so happy here. Well, sometimes it is, but I also have always wanted to present you with the honest side of what it's like living here and dealing with the homestead, and you've seen plenty of struggles so far. Well, the latest of which is ongoing. Oh look, we've got a hot tub, it's so amazing. It's our lifestyle, so great. But the reality is, within a couple of weeks, it keeps giving me an error 02 message, and I'm having to deal with this. So I'm back washing it. You know, just have to leave that going for 5 minutes and then do the other hole and see if that's the problem. I don't even think that's the problem though. But anyway, it's all to do with water flow and boring stuff and filters and blah, 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 blah. My point being, I've had it for 2 weeks, and so if I'd had it for a year or two, then fine, you're okay with doing a bit of maintenance. But the whole point of spending money on a bit of luxury is you want to feel luxurious. You don't want to have to commit loads of time and effort and research to fixing the thing. Anyway, you know what? I really must finish that gate. Okay, that's had 5 minutes. So now you do 5 minutes the other way. Good. So I'm just going to leave that going for a bit. On the plus side, I'm due to do a mow today, but not a full mow, as you can see up here. Mercifully, because the weather's been so lovely but dry, it's not grown much up here, but on the hocks it has, so down on the hocks. But I have to wait for that to dry out because it's still very morning dewy and wet. So I suppose, small mercies, this latest issue with the hot tub isn't cutting into anything I would be doing, at least nothing for the homestead. I do actually have a job, several in fact, so I've got stuff that I have to be doing. Anyway, check this out. Know what that is? I bet lots of you do. That's a leveller, goes on the back of a tractor and it levels off the ground. John's, the lovely John, is going to go on the back of his lovely blue tractor, and it's going to be used for this. That's right, it's Daniel Steddingfield. So we are sort of halfway through the process. My next door neighbour farmer friend has been helping me with it. The idea is eventually it's going to be a wildflower meadow, but it had loads of boulders and lots of old archaeology, basically. Just crap, not real archaeology, don't worry. I'm a historian, I would have salvaged it. It really needs proper clearing, treating. The soil needs to recover. I think the idea is my friend's going to put some topsoil on it, and then we're going to plant it with our seeds. We've got a big bag of mixed wildflower meadow seeds with grasses and stuff. But John also uses it, with my permission of course. So that's John's wood that he's getting ready to process. So he needs it to be level as well. So he actually has a leveller, so he's going to level it. So we'll see the work in progress going on here. What with one thing and another with my farmer friend and my schedules, we just didn't get to planting up this spring and summer. So I've still got the bag of seed, which should be all right until next season. And we're just going to leave it fallow. Yeah, I own a homestead. I say words like fallow now. We're going to leave it fallow for this winter, and John will level it. And hopefully next year you're going to see a beautiful wildflower meadow here. Time will tell. So I've got another couple of issues that I've been dealing with this week to tell you about, but before that, my good lady wife has recorded a vegetables update for you. Over to you, Becky.
So, just a little catch up from me. I did lots of reading, lots of kind of checking and kind of assessing what we want to do next. So these two really shady beds, I think I'm just going to leave them as is. I mean, the spinach is doing really well, so I might plant some extra spinach in there for the winter because it seems quite happy there. So that's probably an easy win. Got some dill and spring onion and little bits in this. Kind of throw it all in bed, but it hasn't been massively successful, I have to say, so I need to rethink that one for next year. Maybe lettuce in there, given the oak leaves have done really well over there, and that's even shadier. And see, I've weeded all the fruit bed and got everything kind of sorted out there. I've got some strawberry runners that are coming, so the ones I've spotted I've planted down, so there's one there. Might have a few more, so that's good. Vineberry's doing very well. It's grown some more shoots this year, so that's excellent. It's really nice, really pretty, and the colour of the fruit's really nice. And this bed was a big job, but you can see I've done a big weed and clear. Got a few cabbages left. Sprouts are coming. Come on, Christmas. Yeah, and the pumpkins. So the courgettes are great. These yellow courgettes have been wonderful this year, both outdoors and in the greenhouse. I think I'm just going to leave them to outdoors next year because they take up so much space in the greenhouse. And the Turk's turbans doing really well. I took off some growth so they can try and concentrate on the fruits that are already formed, so hopefully that's good. Got rid of the sweet peas, they've gone over now. Potatoes is Nik's territory, so leave that with him. I'm not touching that bed. And then what I've done here is, you can see I've cleared the bean arch and growing poles. So in here for the autumn I'm going to plant some kales and some chard, which is like my nemesis at the moment. Chard doesn't want to grow for me, so I'm going to try some kales and some chards in this bed. I think after peas and beans, I said that was a good one to do. This was our main onion bed, so after onions it says peas and beans are a good one, so I'm going to put some aqua dolce broad beans in here to start this autumn, ready for the spring. They did really well last year, so I'm hoping they do well this year as well. There's a couple of rogue spring onions in there as well, which we'll leave. And in here, my poor carrots that got dug up by the chickens, got a few left, but in this bed I think I might do a few lettuces, radishes. I've got some, actually thinking about it, I've got some winter stuff. I've got some winter greens, winter purslane, mustards and things. I might do some of those in there then as well, or maybe in here. But yeah, I just want to try and keep planting and try and keep going as best we can over autumn and winter, and just maximise the growing space really. And then in here I've had quite a big sort out as well. I've got a bit more to do. You can see I've taken out a couple of the courgettes because they were just swamping everything else, but cucumbers seem to have kind of re-energized after a bit of a pause. I've got quite a few fruits coming on 2 or 3 of the plants, and you can see here I've got some nice ones coming, so my daughter will be thrilled because she loves that. So yeah, tried to take off the tops of the tomatoes to get everything to ripen, and cleared this bed, so put a few more bits and bobs in here as well. Nice.
Thanks for that, Becky. Well, the internet here, as you can imagine, being in rural northeast Scotland, isn't great. We are semi off grid in the sense that we don't, the signal we pay for very rarely actually comes. So, hey look, there's some solar panels and the sun. Oh, yeah, very pretty. Yeah, so we've got solar, and there's some on the other side as well. So there's south and west facing, and they should hopefully, you know, help pay for the hot tub heating. But I've finally taken the plunge. Despite my apprehensions about Mr. Musk, I've joined the Starlink community. So this thing here looks up at the sky and gets satellite internet from up there. And so far, I don't really have a complaint, because it's we were getting maximum 30 Mbps before, which means semi-okay. If you're not familiar with internet speeds, 30 Mbps is semi-okay, but when you've got a household of 4, 2 of us work from home, my job often involves large audio and video files. Even outside of the YouTube channel, I often have to download and upload big files, and then you add a PlayStation, you add kids on devices and blah blah blah, and Sky TV, which we get half of it through the satellite, but most of it obviously on demand comes through the internet. So we were finding that it was struggling even at 30. And then recently Storm Flores damaged the mast that we go to and the company that we were with, I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but they've clearly been rubbish at fixing the problem and communicating about fixing the problem. And we've been thinking about upgrading for ages. So we just, end of tether stuff, we just took the plunge. So I've got Starlink installed, really easy to install. So whatever your feelings about its owner, and hey, I'm not getting into that, but it's finally, we're getting over 100 Mbps, which if you're not a internet geek, 100 Mbps is, we're fine. You can do most things with that and have everything on at the same time, upload, download. Yeah, we're all good. So that's meant drilling a hole into the wall and getting the cables in through there. And that's sort of all done. But the other thing I've had to do, of course, is get some power through to the old office, which is, as you know, in this gorgeous porter cabin out here. So I had my separate dongle here, which was on the internet, but of course that was also going to the same 4G mast and has been affected in the same way. So what I've actually had to end up doing is running a cable right the way along here. I've buried it under the ground. You can barely see. And run it all the way along here. And it comes into my studio here. And that right there is 100 Mbps. Thank goodness I've got it after all these years. We've lived here for nearly 3 years, and it's just reset me to where I was when we lived in the south and had super fast fibre broadband. But of course, you can't get fibre broadband in a place like this. Don't be silly. And we can't even get 5G. So anyway, that's that. So I've been dealing with that issue this week, the hot tub issue this week, loads of different work things going on, and additionally, I've painted our living room, which took me 2.5 days. So maybe that's why on this Friday morning I'm feeling a little frazzled and a bit overwhelmed and like my to-do list is ever growing, and why I have slightly less patience than I might otherwise have had with a hot tub that packs up after 2 weeks. So yeah, anyway. Oh, hello, Mr. Butterfly. Let's breathe and let's enjoy nature, guys. It's such an amazing morning. Oh, aren't we lucky? Well, we are lucky, to be honest. It's great. And breathe. This is what the learning part of my channel is all about. It's about learning how to do things, learning how to accept things, learning how to cope with things. And when you upset your work-life balance the way we did when we moved here, of course, you're going to tip the balance in various ways, for the better or for the worse, in various aspects of your life. So I say on balance, and Becky certainly agrees with this because she was saying it this morning when we were walking the dog and taking the kids to school. She said, our life is good and it's all manageable. It's all copable with. And I have to say I agree with that. So just thought I'd share with you a slightly frazzled morning, but I bet you if I can get the hot tub working and I can get the hawk mode and I can get everything else sorted I've got to get done, that by tonight I'll be feeling pretty good again. Knock on wood. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Learning the Good Life. I'll see you next week.